I think in First Corinthians, Jesus told Moses if he could get a PSA 10 Methuselah for a PSA 9, I'm trying to remember who it was. He could. That would be a
Job.
great trade.
It's Job.
Job, yes. And maybe a couple of lions, like the insert cards. Like at a low grade PSA, it would be a worthwhile trade.
Are those numbered to 5? The Lions, the special.
No, they're
They're
not.
not numbered. They're
No.
SSSPs.
Oh, okay. I thought so,
Yep. Super short print.
but not the super short print of the snake from the Garden of Eden. Now
Correct.
that's rare.
Correct. I've never seen one.
That's the goat scrotum parallel.
Yeah. That's right. But Moses didn't want to have that one because he didn't want to have blood on his hands.
No.
I'm fucking.
Going on, YouTube world. IRP 234. We'll talk about hypotheticals because we love that, and everybody in the community loves hypotheticals. They do. They really do. What if Pacific was owned by Roger Maris when he was trying to date Marilyn Monroe after she was seen with Al Capone? What if that would have happened? How cool would that have been?
That would be really hard for that to actually.
I know.
It's
There's a lot of things going on there. But what if it happened? How cool would that be?
I don't know if that would be cool at all. Because all the cards would be in black and white.
And if Roger Maris had a parrot on his shoulder, how awesome would that be?
I don't know. I like my cards in color.
That sounds like a racist statement.
If you say so.
I do.
Yeah, well.
There's that.
To each their own.
That's known. This podcast is known for that. So,
is it though?
It's known for something. I don't know what it is, but
a load of shit.
Hey! It's a family show. That's what it's known for.
Says you and nobody else.
I know. So we'll chat about cards.
What? We're actually going to chat about cards?
Some quotes. I don't know if it's idioms. I'd say one and the same, but I know it's not. Mine are mostly stuff that I remember from Ken Harrelson that pertain to sports. So, and just the usual nothingness that fills a void in everyone's life for 2.5-ish hours on every Tuesday, Wednesday night. So, again, nothing real pressing.
Of course, but yeah, no real topics.
No,
I'm guessing Dave ran out of top 5 for this week.
No.
Well,
This was one that was on mine for a little while too. Like,
I'm
again,
giving you shit, Dave. I'm giving
most
you
of
shit.
the ones I thought of too that I couldn't remember them. So I'm.
Well, of course. Like, where's your list? You talk about lists. Where the fuck is your list with the top 5s?
That's my list for tonight. Top 5s. Vinny had one for future episodes. I know I've got some more,
but before this shit gets too deep,
too late.
But like that would never happen. No, like deeper than what it already is. I mean, come on, Dave. Let's be real.
I'm gonna check the food. I'll be right back.
All right, you do that. Thank you to those who have voted so far to see what we rip this week. I'm sure Michael has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, and that's okay.
I 100% don't.
Because Dave sucks and hadn't bothered to send him the link the last couple weeks. So I've been posting polls. This is the second week I've done it to see like what people want to see opened for the week.
Okay.
Instead of like just sitting here and being like, okay, this is what I have. Y'all tell me, and like nothing gets decided. So we've had 11 votes so far on this poll. There for the longest time, we actually had a 3-way tie. Now it's still a 2-way tie. And even if it becomes a tie, it's great and wonderful. I'll just open 2 different things. It's not that big of a deal. I don't care. It's been purchased for this reason anyways. So thank you to those who have voted and for anybody who would like to still cast their vote. We will keep it open until 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, so roughly 27 minutes if you would like to cast your vote. If you don't, that's fine too. But currently there is a 2-way tie between 2 different optic retail configurations. So
I'm assuming you've got 1 WNBA and then 3 football.
yes, that is correct.
Okay.
So just wanted to throw that out there like I did last week. The only difference is I actually put the poll up yesterday instead of the date of the show, hoping to get a little bit more participation.
Now you have 12 votes.
So thank you, Michael, for casting your vote. So just wanted to remind everybody, there is still a little bit of time, 26 minutes. We'll keep it consistent. I stopped the poll at 9 o'clock last week. So if you want to vote, put in your vote. If you don't, again, no big deal. So I'll keep doing this every once in a while just to kind of get through some of this stuff. Because it has been enjoyable to actually open it in front of you guys. Opening it kind of like by myself and not on camera has not been as dramatic. Not to mention, at least if I pull something nice, there will be some sort of record. Unlike the times I pulled shit in after hours, which kind of defeats the purpose. And I will say at some point, I will actually have select. I did pre-order through Dick's Sporting Goods, which will most likely be the Walmart version blasters. Because, Walmart has to be different than Target, and Target has to be different than Walmart as it pertains to the
Reds
varying, the parallels. So I do have, other than the ones that I'll be sitting on, I pre-ordered 6. So I plan on opening 3. So select blasters will be on the poll at some point along with value packs. I purchased a sealed box of value packs too. So
you would think this next year's product would be cheaper because the draft class is not favorable for the collecting community.
So this select is Jaden and Caleb.
Right.
So, and what's interesting is on Dick's, they're 35. Walmart is selling them for 40.
Myers selling them for 78.
Probably. Target actually has them for 30, but they sold out really fucking quick. For good reason. They're the cheapest. But again, like
coming to a hobby shop near you.
I didn't want to screw the pooch like I did with Optic. I should have pre-ordered through Dick's because they had the pre-order up for like forever. And I just didn't do it because I automatically thought that I'd be able to snag shit through Target. I was at some point, but I paid the premium even through Target because Target got smart on a temporary basis and they upped their prices to be equal with the going rate in the current market for optic. So I paid more than what I wanted, but again, it averages out anyways because I ended up buying a total of 5. 3 I've got stashed away, and then I bought 2 at normal $35, I think. So again, not that anybody gives a shit about from a pricing perspective.
I prefer Select and Optic to Prism. I think they're both nicer products.
I won't disagree. Optic blasters were on fire this year for good reason. We can't see that far, Dave. Other than shiny.
I know. You will.
What's interesting with Prism, so other than like Prism Megas, like Prism Megas this year was like the hot product. They sold out fast and they were going for like 1.5 times normal price point in the secondary market not long after they started like selling out with through like Target and Dick's and all that type of stuff. So Prism Megas were like the best, I won't say the best bang for your buck, but they had the highest ceiling. The best bang for your buck for Prism was the value packs because like you get 3 red, white, and blue, 1 typically being a rookie. You get 1 hollow, or I should say 1 prism, 1 refractor, just kidding, a few greens, and then like 1 rookie for $15. So you're like, for the price point, it's a lot it's a lot better. But again, like you're not guaranteed your hollow being a rookie, of course. It could be a vet. But you still have a chance. At least at a bare minimum, like 99% of the value packs I've seen open, 1 of the red, white, and blues is typically a rookie. So 1 rookie color, 1 base rookie, plus usually a green insert, may or may not be a rookie. So like, again, the value is there in those, but the highest ceiling on Prism was the Megas. So, and that wasn't determined until actually like kind of later on. Typically you hear it fairly fast. So again, 20 minutes till the poll closes. Again, thanks to everybody who has voted. Thanks to those who haven't voted, because perhaps you don't give a shit. So I didn't even bother to look to see what it changed to after Michael voted. Well, he definitely broke the tie.
I pushed the scales.
Yep, you broke the tie, which is fine. And I will go ahead and tell you now, like, the hangers are garbage. I'm just going to say it. Hangers and value packs are garbage for Optic. Retail box, yeah. But Optic was so big this year, as like, I want to open at least every retail configuration there is for Optic. Why not? I have the funds. I have the opportunity. So I've opened value packs, and I still have a sealed box of value packs here. I've got the Mega. I opened a blaster last week. I still have 1 blaster. 2 hangers were new to the poll because I just got those in. And then I'm sitting on a retail box too. So one of the few times I'll actually open a full gambit of retail configuration for a football
I
product.
just realized this is a new angle for you from the last time I was here.
Oh yeah, I was because I was always sitting at the bar.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I'm using the same table that I did in my office. It's just in my dining room.
Mm-hmm.
So partially because I wanted to block off this window so the dog doesn't decide to jump up in the window and scratch up the windowsill like he's already done. The kitchen table's up against the wall right here. Eventually it will go long ways this way. But as of right now, it's just against the wall, kind of out of the way for right now. But yeah, this is where I sit and work. And I'm not turning on the light that's in here because like they're a little bright and it gets a little warm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the lights.
Oh. And
they get a little toasty.
Before I got this room done, I used my dining room table. Dave's been at my dining room table. It's a massive dining room table for a house of 2 people. And I think we've eaten meals at that table 4 times, maybe.
Well, we haven't eaten yet at the dining room table for reasons because, like, again, I've got stuff sitting on it. We've ate at the bar plenty of times just because it's convenient. And yes, Joe, the credenza is in the same place it was when I was sitting at the bar. It's right over here in front of the window.
Alicia and I, we only get to have dinner together on the weekends. So, and typically not typically, we do sit in the living room and watch TV while we eat.
I was going to say you watch TV while you're eating.
But we don't watch anything that we have to pay attention to.
Oh.
We turn on, like right now, it's Malcolm in the Middle. We're just running through that while we eat.
Background noise.
It's funny and you don't have to pay attention.
Yeah, and it's more background noise than anything.
Mm-hmm. And then we come into here to watch our shows.
Oh, well, we just got another vote and we got a tie again. Again, which just means I'll be opening 2 different things.
Nothing wrong with that.
Again, I don't give a shit either way. I will continue to open stuff as I still have it or other stuff becomes available that I actually care to open. Red Zone?
Out of 20.
Is that 24, Dave? Or is that 23?
18.
Okay, so it goes back further. Okay. Phoenix doesn't get a whole lot of credit.
You're not going to get McCown newer products.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Beautiful. I really like that product.
Mostly, that's probably going to be out of Chronicles, though, isn't it?
No, this was a standalone.
Yeah.
Was that the standalone year? Because, like, I know it ended up becoming part of Chronicles.
Yeah, that was the Darnold.
Well, I believe Luminary, isn't it? Is it not still a standalone product?
I think it was in, like Steve had said, I thought there was stuff in Chronicles, but I don't remember.
I think the stuff in Chronicles was pro unis, whereas the standalone product, all the rookies were in their college stuff.
Oh, don't get me to lying. And that could be.
Yeah. That one's nice.
That definitely could be.
Oh, Sean King.
So take heed of the jersey or the numbering.
8 of
25. Boom Brunel.
certified skills.
The mirror black. Before it was
Wasn't Sean King one of the first guys that Ryan PC'd?
I believe so.
Yeah.
99 draft.
Ooh, that's an optic gold. That's
So pretty.
Watching Shock. Well, no, you can't see that. You can see the chat. Let's see. Watching weather. So, Michael, tomorrow or later tonight, 2 to 3 a.m.
Yeah, starting basically midnight to noon, it's raining, and then like 1 to 2 or so, there's chance of severe thunderstorms.
It's the green. Which, in a perfect world, it's always
to 5.
Yep.
so. And once again, I don't know where the guy got. I don't know if I showed him or not. Again,
Wave of the future, Bob Abreu.
Yep.
3 of them are in here. 2.25 each. 2.25 each. Which again, these were at least 1 in 80 packs.
Those are awesome. Anybody else notable in there in that set?
Jason Kendall is the only big name. Jermaine Dye's in there. I got that a couple weeks ago. Ruben Rivera might have been in there. Collinsworth, possibly, maybe.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year winner.
It's a lot of. You go back and you look and you're like, oh, okay.
I remember those names.
I remember these on like that, the Baseball Weekly top 10 team prospect list.
Ruben Rivera, he was a Padres prospect, wasn't he?
He was. What was he first though? He was Yankees.
Yankees. Yep, it was Yankees and Padres, I believe.
Then he went to the Padres in a big trade. I think terrific, wonderful Mounds might be in there too. Who never did much of anything, I think, for the Braves. But yeah, that. I think he was an outfielder. Again, that was one where you were like, "Oh, that's a cool name," and sort of got a little buzz because of that. But
what was the year?
96. 96 Flair. Because yeah, there's one guy that's got a bunch of them up. I think I've got them all either in the cart or and on my watch list, and I'm just hoping that he like drops prices.
Oh, Paul Wilson was in the set.
The former Mets impulsifer and somebody else.
Steve Gibraltar, Tony Batista.
I know that name.
Gibraltar was a red.
David Doster. Alan Bennis. Oh, Ray Ordonez was in the set.
Okay.
Steve
Cox. He was a big first baseman.
George Arias.
Your first iteration of like Bowman first, without it being a Bowman first.
Yeah.
Oh, Kareem Garcia.
That was so it wasn't Hollinsworth, it was Garcia. And he was a Dodgers outfield prospect.
Todd Green.
Who had unlimited power in the minors, but
and didn't do shit.
Turns out you got to be able to hit the ball to use that power.
That traditional like quadruple A player.
Yep.
You can destroy the shit out of triple A, but then you're Pedro Serrano when you get to the majors and you can't hit the curve.
You can't hit the curve.
Jose Malave.
Are you telling me in order to be successful in baseball, you actually have to hit the ball? Jeez, man, I didn't. Man.
That's wild. I know.
Yeah. Richard Hidalgo was in the set too as well. That was a guy who just never panned out.
Wasn't he Houston?
Yeah.
Him and Abreu, and they chose Hidalgo over Abreu, and which again I never understood why. I'm like, I'd give up Hidalgo before Abreu, not only because it's again my guy. I loved Hidalgo too, but if you got Bagwell, you got Biggio. There's your two right. Abreu's your 50. Even if you think Berkman's going to be ready in a couple of years, which in '97 he was drafted over Rice, you say, okay, then you got Biggio, Abreu, Bagwell, Berkman as your front four. At the time, too, then you had Caminiti. You could stagger it a different way, too, which was a lefty. But
Berkman's a guy I wish I would have collected.
Yep.
Berkman and Bolin, them were two of my absolute favorite baseball players. But I collected A-Rod at the time, which I loved A-Rod, still do. But
yeah, well, at the time, I mean, he was the guy, though, too. Mm-hmm. When you put things into perspective, he is what made '94 worth a damn.
Yeah, and I started collecting him in '93. I collected him before he did anything because I was like, he just seems like he's gonna be really freaking good.
It was Roxette. He had the look. You looked at him, you're like, that's somebody that's gonna be of use.
Yeah, he looked like a baseball player. And then he got robbed of an MVP by Juan Gonzalez. A-Rod hit 358 that damn year. That was in 96 or 98, 96.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't even. I don't ever remember freaking Wando happy, excited to be here. Fucking actually won an MVP.
Yeah. You go back and look at the numbers, you're like, he shouldn't have. I mean, they were good numbers, but they weren't anywhere even close to what A-Rod did.
And I got to remember what year it was because I know. I remember going to like the outlet mall, going down to the cities, the Tanger outlet mall, and getting a Juan Gonzalez Reebok shirt. And it had like Igor on there, and again, the typical like 94, 95, no fear type of shirt or whatever. And what is either, again, 94, 96, one of those years he had, I think, 60 RBIs through the end of May. And I know he had like 146, 148, 154, somewhere in there for the year. So I don't remember if he won the MVP of that year, the strike year.
Yeah. And
then another one. Again, that's that pre-war baseball. My memory gets fuzzy.
Yeah, here was A-Rod's 1996 season when he finished second in MVP voting. He hit 358 with 215 hits, 36 home runs, 123 RBIs, 141 runs scored in 146 games. He led leagues in runs, total bases with 379. He had 54 doubles to go along with his 36 homers.
Damn.
And he led the league in grand slams. He had 3. He won his first Silver Slugger award and finished second in AL MVP voting.
Well, what did Juan have that year?
I'm going to look it up real quick. Those are video game numbers.
You put those numbers out now, and the influencers are going to be like tripping over themselves.
Right.
His year in 96, he played 134 games, so he played 12 fewer games than A-Rod. He hit 314 with 47 home runs and 140 RBIs with a 643 slugging.
It's them home runs, man. Everybody likes them home runs.
And they only got him by 11.
Yeah, it's not like
I know it's not like he crushed it, but
no, I don't remember if I sent lowest rung or I sent it to Michael or sent it to the group chat or the group thing on Instagram where it was all like the 90s, like baseball stars, like whatever best year or whatever great year they had. Like Tony Gwynn hitting like 382, and it's like deep in August, where most guys are hitting 382 after like the first week, and you're already talking the Ted Williams, and that's it. You're not talking anymore. Nobody's getting close anymore because batting average doesn't matter. So
Gonzalez beat him in the MVP voting 290 to 288.
ooh.
Oh. You just can't imagine anymore somebody in baseball currently that's going to hit 358. Judge might do it this year. I don't think he will. But
No,
it isn't a thing anymore.
no. If you hit like 330, people are excited.
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
what
330, you're guaranteed to win the batting champion.
wasn't it Arise though that was way the fuck up there freaking for most of the year?
He was flirting with 400 last year. He was hitting 380 pretty deep into the season,
and then he kind of faltered though, pretty much.
He did. Yeah, he had a really bad September. And not just that, I mean, literally like 97% of his hits are singles. It's such an empty batting average. Not that singles are bad, but he doesn't score runs. He doesn't steal bases. He doesn't drive in runs. It's just a very hollow number.
Right. It lacks significance in the scheme of things.
It's almost like an elite Otis Nixon without the base stealing ability. That's because I can't think of anybody that doesn't have. It's got a bat and everything else is pretty scaled on a 1 to 10. It's all either 1 or 2.
Right.
I mean, and even this year he's batting, I think, like 275, 280.
Is he?
So, yeah, because I just dropped him in a fantasy league because Jordan Westberg came back for Baltimore and he's got multiple position
eligibility.
Yeah, so I'm like, I need somebody that's actually going to get a home run or two and drive in a few out there.
I picked up Josh Smith, who has 3 position eligibility. And, of course, today was supposed to be his first game of the week. He missed the game. He's day-to-day. I'm like, and the thing that sucks about the league that I'm in, you set your
locked
lineup on Monday and it's locked for the week. And so I'm going to have an entire – I mean, he might – it's a hamstring issue, so
probably Friday at the earliest.
Yeah, if I'm lucky. So I'm probably going to go the whole week without a third baseman because that is the position. Somehow that position became the worst offensive position in baseball.
I know.
Third base and catcher are just atrocious.
And I've jumped. There's been a lot of dumb people already in 5 leagues I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually check 2 to 3 times a week, like the free agents, just because I'm like, again, I like what I've got for teams. They just suck.
Yeah.
So Jackson Holiday, I had him a lot at the beginning of the year, dropped him, then he started coming around, so I picked him back up.
I'm sticking with him. I've had him on my team.
I had Marcus Simeon at one point, and everybody dropped him, including me. Then we started heating back up again at the end of May. I'm like, okay, I'll bite, and he's done okay for me, or done well. But yeah, third base. I mean, I got Matt Chapman in one league. maybe two. Again, one I think I drafted, the other a free agent after somebody cut him. Somebody had dropped Austin Riley like 2 weeks in. I'm like, that's brilliant because that's like a top 30 pick for you. So
yeah, that was dumb.
Matt Olson was another one that people have dropped. I picked up. I don't want to drop Ian Happ, but Jackson Merrill, somebody had dropped and nobody had picked him up. And I'm like, I will put him on the DL and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
Again, a top 20, 25 pick. Pretty much the Mariners rotation. I've had all incarnations of them that have been dropped. Bryce Miller, Logan Gilbert. Somebody dropped that Schwellenbach in one league. So
I've got him. He did not do good tonight. Well, I mean, he didn't do terrible. 7 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 8 Ks, but they're gonna lose. They're losing 4-1 to the Mets.
Grant Holmes having 15 Ks and 6 1/3 and losing to the Rockies. It's like you've got 19 outs and 15 are strikeouts. That's like Little League World Series numbers.
And lost.
That. So it tells you.
Man, that's when you go. That's when you're sitting in the locker room after the game, just looking around, going, "You motherfuckers."
That would be where I'm like, I'm showering, I'm getting my stuff, and I'm not even looking at you people.
Yeah.
You have let me down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've picked up like Alec Baum in like 1 or 2 leagues. The Westbergs, he's got second, third base eligibility. That's what I looked at in like the draft. Like, man, I'm just remembering like 3, 4 third basemen in the first 2.5 to 3 rounds. Roland was usually that next year, and again, this is telling you how long ago,
right?
Where he'd be like a number 50 pick or so, and then like if you were hoping for 270, 20 to 25 home runs, maybe like 70 to 80 RBIs, like Corey Kosky, you'll hit him in like the 10th round. I'm like, now that just I sat there and every draft I did, I'm like, after the first one, I'm like, okay, and now I sort of know where these people are going. But it's like I'd rather jump 2 rounds to get a guy I wanted, like James Wood. I drafted him, I think 3 of 5.
God, I've loved owning that guy.
But I drafted Dylan Cruz too.
I have Dylan Cruz. Now mine's a dynasty league, so I have had Jackson Holiday, Bobby Witt, James Wood, Gunnar Henderson, and Cruz and Wood. I had all those guys before they had a major league at bat. I always during the drafting, I'm like, you know what? This guy might not even get called up this year. I'm picking him up because I think he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And so I picked up James Wood. Has been awesome. What a stud.
And somebody had dropped him in one league, probably 3rd week of the season. And I'm like, he was batting 220-ish. He was still hitting a little power. And I'm like, well, again, better than whatever I had out there. So pick him up. I'm like, I'll ride with him. Because, him and Cruz were the 2 guys I wanted. I'll just wait on outfielders unless I got Soto, Tatis, Merrill, Cherio. I'm like, I want to get one of those guys. If I don't, whatever. Now we're just like I used to always do, pick somebody later. Jermaine Dye is going to be there in the 8th round. There's 270, 30 home runs.
I had Corey Hart a lot of years.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, he'd hit 20 and steal 10.
Yeah. I don't expect much. I just don't want a lot of offers. I don't want that.
Yep.
So, yeah, just I don't know. There's a lot of dumb people in the fantasy baseball world too, at least in these stupid public leagues that are dropping people. Adley Rushman, somebody dropped him.
He's been good. He's been good the last month, but he's had a rough season.
Every league I think I've got, except the one I didn't remember to draft live. So 4 out of the 5, I've got Will Smith. That's always a catcher that I've been taking the last 3-4 years. I'm like, I don't care where he's at. It's like, okay, if he's like 20 picks away, I'm like, I got to get him now because I don't want to question mark at catcher. That's an albatross.
Yep.
That is an absolute junk pile of position.
I look like a very stupid person because right after the draft and the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, I was getting at least one offer a week for Rutschman that included Cal Raleigh.
Somebody dropped him.
Oh no!
And like again, that same third week, and that's the one where I've got Austin Riley, Schwellenbach. I mean, it seems like somebody drops somebody every week. That's like you shouldn't be dropping. So I'm like, should I? And that was where I had Ruiz for Washington. I'm like, I love Keibert, but like Raleigh's gonna hit me homers. I'm like, I'm gonna roll with this. I just go with it. It's like, again, they pass through waivers and they're sitting there and they're automatically pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
It's done me well. That's one where I've been like, I've got Will Smith and I've got Cal Raleigh as my catchers. So it's a struggle to take Cal Raleigh out. So
yeah.
And Bo Bichette, I love him too, but he's been one of the guys that I've sort of had to cut. And
he's been terrible.
like,
I don't know what his deal is. He just never developed. But
so for anybody who gives a shit, it is well after 9 o'clock. Poll is officially closed for anybody who is curious. If you would like me to share to prove that there was in fact a tie, we had a total of 13 votes, and the two top vote getters of 38% apiece. Go figure, it's going to be an optic kind of night.
Optic Hanger and Mega?
Yep. So we've got the Mega, and we've got the two hangers. And again, the hangers are garbage, but I wanted to open them because that was the only retail format I hadn't opened yet. So I'll open those starting a little bit later, but I at least wanted to throw it out there that it has officially closed. And I will turn on the light just so we can see the cards better. So there you have it. There at least will be some sort of entertainment this evening.
Something worth watching.
Of course, with as strong as this drink is, it could be interesting.
That was poisonous. I mean, what? That must be a good one.
I saw that when I was at Kroger, and I brought it home, and I left them in the car, and I took them out, and she's like, look at that, Dad. And I was like, better half. Our StreamYard sponsor.
This is true. Well, technically, it would be sponsored by you and Better Half.
Yeah. It's
Better Half just to fix her name because it probably hits her credit card.
It does.
But it is a shared expense between both.
Well, she yelled at me. She's like, "What's this $159 charge on your credit card? I thought we weren't spending any money." I said that was Norton, the antivirus. It hits every,
Year?
Yeah, every year. So it's easier just to them to renew it that way on all the devices and be done.
Yep. Because you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. Like I wish I could get the suite that my work has. We use Norton, and I like it so much better than what the personal Nortons are. It's,
Well,
it's some kind of
duh.
yeah, it's some kind of semantics. It is nice, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I always run that stuff. I love to make sure my shit's protected."
It's enterprise, man. You're
Yeah.
you're not gonna get the same shit that you are on
Exactly.
a home PC.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I've been.
even think you. I don't even think you could buy like enterprise version for personal use.
I don't think so. I think I have Norton 360 on this one. I have it. I have it on everything almost except C's gaming laptop. Haley put that together, and she put some kind of whatever Microsoft or something's thing.
Defender.
Yeah, Defender. All C does is play her games on there and that, and she's had no issue. So
All
Well,
I
at
use,
least
all I use this laptop for is this podcast and the once or twice a year Zoom I have to do for training. That's the only time this laptop's even on.
Mine's on all the time, but that's because this is the work laptop. So.
this is I had a Mac when it first came out. When I got my first big bonus, Haley was going to become a photographer. So I bought Haley a camera. And then I went out and I bought Shelby and Meredith. I don't know. I can't remember. I think C was a baby. Yeah, she was a baby. Because I bought her a bunch of toys. But I bought everybody something. I didn't buy myself, I don't think, Ugats. But I was so happy to get everybody something. And then that Christmas, they got me my first MacBook, and I loved. I rode that thing for 9 years, and then Meredith got me this 1 or 2 years ago. I think it's the summer of the National 23. Yeah, 23 when we went. I got this in July, and this thing's my old one still runs. I mean, a Mac doesn't like degrade like a PC. I have 5 of them sitting in a closet that have just zonked out. And we bought one for Meredith. What was it, last year? She had no home PC. So she's like, I don't want to put everything on our financial stuff. And so we bought an HP. I was going to buy this kick-ass Samsung. It had light-up keyboards and it was thin and it was just dope, but they didn't have it in the store and it was a 6-week wait. I'm like, why do you have it on display? So they had a killer HP for a freaking, for what it was just loaded. And she's like, I like this one. It had the number pad and everything on it. And that's what and then I have my old PC here, my work one. I have it on a dual switch. Mm-hmm. So I have my 2 monitors. So what I do is I hit my switch. My buddy taught me, what was that? When I first moved to Michigan, he's like, you should put your home PC on a switch with your monitors. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay. And he showed me how to do it. And I was like, this is pretty slick. So all I do is I have a switch here. I go click and it's my work stuff. And then I click and it's my personal stuff. And then I got a flat screen LG because Meredith, I had Samsungs, the curved ones, the 32s. Mm-hmm. They're freaking nice. And Meredith's like, can I have your 32?
Yeah.
I have the same monitor because I bought them right before COVID because I was working from home because I was reporting in through Minnesota. So my boss was like, sit in your basement and just chug. So 5:30 every morning from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock at night, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, like clockwork. I was in my hole doing my thing. And then I got this LG. It's one of the what do you call those? They're I have a regular 32 HP here, and then this one's not a flat screen, but like for spreadsheets, it's longer than it is tall. So it's a wide screen.
Panoramic?
It's panoramic. Thank you. And when you have a spreadsheet that's this long, it's freaking beautiful. Except when you try to do like Teams or Zoom, it projects for shit. So I have to end up putting it on this monitor for people to see it because it shrinks it down panoramic on their screen. So they have a bitch of a time seeing it. So, but for everyday work, when I'm in spreadsheets all day, and it's nice.
Once we get the contract situation figured out at my job, I'm going to be building a new PC.
It's been ages since I've done that.
I've never done it, but I want to.
Yeah.
I just need to get off my ass and buy me a laptop in the event that something happens.
I was going to build C's PC because I used to build them. My cousin Dave taught me how to do it. He built my first one for me in 97, 98. No, it was 98 because it had Windows 98 on it. And I ran that thing till 2009. And then it just went. And then I bought an Acer, and it lasts a brand new Acer. I paid $350 for a beautiful computer. 1 year in, it just went. And then Meredith bought me a laptop in 09, and when we were dating. And I had that for about a year, and then I moved here. And I used that till I got my first MacBook.
I've always preferred PCs. This laptop I literally bought when COVID kicked off, and it made it sound like I was going to need this so much for all these certification courses and everything I needed to take. I bought it, and I was using fucking Zoom on my phone. I wasn't even using the laptop.
We keep trying to convince Dave to buy a Chromebook.
Yeah.
Instead of using his phone for this.
I love this little HP I bought. I think I paid like $600 or $650 for it. It's a really nice computer. It would probably do a lot of great things if I actually used it. Yeah. I bet it does good things. The only thing I've done to it is I downloaded my Avast. I like using Avast security with their ad blocker. That way I never have to watch ads on YouTube.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah. It's free.
Yeah.
You can pay for premium ones, but the free one works great, and using the ad blocker, and it works phenomenal. And if you like go on like Facebook and all that stuff, and all the ads that are typically there, they're just blanked out.
Which is all Facebook.
Most part,
pretty much.
pretty much.
Like I left Facebook. What was it? The last election. I watched. Politics should never get in the way of friendship. And I watched people just turn freaking nasty. And I said, you know what? If this is the way you all are over this stuff, whatever side you're on, I would never judge somebody for what they do. That's their thing. The reasons we have the rules for the show. And I just said, this is too much. So I basically defriended everybody but my wife and the card shows in Detroit. That's how I keep track of the card shows.
Yeah, I use it the same way I use Instagram. I use it for my card shit.
Yeah.
The issue is people feel like because they're sitting behind a computer, they can just post whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And when it becomes so like that's all that it is.
Not just that they can post whatever they want. They think that people want to know what they think.
Well, that's
the big problem.
There's that. And I can't argue against that because you're 100% correct. But the issue becomes if that's all that it's being posted, that's when I start having issues. Yeah. I don't give a damn what side of the fence you're on, really. I don't. I don't care. But if that's all you're going to constantly post, one side or the other, and that's all it is, like, I ain't got time for that shit.
Nope. Well, and I don't like I don't even get into it. If it's about cars, then it all of a sudden it becomes political, and they start
Yeah.
dog it, and then they dog. I'm like, dude, if it wasn't so entertaining making fun of you on a weekly basis with several of the outer circle people, I would unfollow you. But you're too damn entertaining for me because you're such a putz. It's become entertaining how stupid people are. It's just like, give me a break, cuz.
Yeah, there's one guy on here that I'm friends with. I know him from the card groups, but I haven't muted his actual personal file because he has a meltdown 3 or 4 times a day.
Over
And
what?
Political shit.
Jesus Christ.
And he just has it's so entertaining for me to watch. I'm like, you fucking retard.
Like,
Yeah.
For what it's worth, I get it. As individuals, let's face it, we should be informed. If you care to be informed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
However, you should never let something consume your life to that extent.
Correct.
Like, that's...
I got
that. But it's no different. Look, okay, let's compare it to YouTube back in the day. Like, some of the rants and shit that would transpire. You're like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Could you find something else to spend your time on? I mean, come on, folks. Really?
Yeah. If you turned off your TV and your phone and you went out and sat on your front porch, what does anything that you were on there reading about really mean? It didn't matter.
Nope.
Well, shit changes by the minute anyways, and it depending on what you read or what you listen to or what you watch, there's a different spin on it. Like 15 different days to Sunday.
Yeah.
Like so what's the point? You know what that's the issue. Like, that's the issue.
Yep, it is not for me.
Nope.
I have too much time to think about the other crap that goes on in my head that also isn't real.
Voices don't like them, so I ignore them.
There's doctors for that, Michael, by the way.
Yeah, but they're fucked up too.
Yeah.
Some of them, yes, that is true. That is true. On a different note, should I open some shit?
Absolutely.
Yeah, open some shit.
What do we want to start with?
And on another note, it is hilarious and baffling to me that if I post a card that isn't football, it gets no traction on Instagram. None. Because I've now made a post for 35 straight days, one card each day. And mine that I loaded today was my Ovechkin patch auto.
Yep, I saw it.
22 likes.
I was one of those.
Yeah. 22.
Beautiful card. Beautiful.
It's so crazy.
Card. All right, Michael, since this is your first time back in a few weeks because it's Dave's fault, what's your open first?
I would go Optic Mega Optic or a Hanger Mega Hanger.
Hanger?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, I will reiterate, hangers are garbage. If you want to open Optic, do not waste your money on a hanger. Because the biggest thing that you're going for is like the purple scope. And there's you only get one.
Okay.
Now, almost every Optic retail configuration, you have a chance for downtowns, uptowns, downtown duos, Sunday Kings, that like the case hit stuff. But at the end of the day, you're paying like $24 for a shit ton of base cards. Is pretty much what you're doing with a hanger.
That's how much a hanger costs?
Yep.
Oh my God.
So, and I already know who my rookie is because it's on the back. So like, I thought I was already on my, that is the hollow, but you can't, like the light actually kind of fucks it up. So this is the hollow.
Okay.
So you get one hollow, one insert.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, two inserts actually. So that's the retro series.
Mm-hmm.
Rookie recruits. And here
What
comes
does
the
that
purple.
even mean?
What, rookie recruits?
Yeah.
It's
None of
just
these
the
are
rookies.
none of these guys are recruits. You were drafted.
Yeah, these are it's all straight rookies. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the purple, and nobody worth a damn.
That's a lot of vowels.
Latu.
Yeah. Huh?
And then there's Joe Milton. So like Milton's not bad, but literally this is what you're hoping for. This is like you want the big guy. But I think last I heard, like the JD5 was even down quite a bit from a value perspective.
Huh. Well, I would think that people would want the McCarthy because it's color match.
And there is that, but again, I was pulling out base cards for everybody too. All right, so we go to the Mega. And depending on what retail variation you get, so this is the target variation. So you get green hyper.
Okay.
And again, this has all your case hit potential, but they're tough as shit to pull, of course. So, like,
I need to buy you a penknife for Christmas. Using a Bic round stick medium point pen to open your shit. Ooh.
and there's the fatty. So you do get one mem or one auto on average.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only guarantee in these. And I'm trying to, and we're already going to pull a green. Put this on the back so I don't see the rookie. There we go.
There you go.
That's a nice one.
Freaking A.
That's freaking $20-$30 right there. Green Hyper Bo Nix, I'll take that.
Oh.
And you get a total, I think, of 10 rookies in a Mega too.
Okay.
So, and then, of course, base. Pull out the base for my peoples. Let me sleeve this up real quick. I don't want this to get fucked up. Guess I need to start opening these more on camera. I had a tendency to do better when I open them for you guys. That's fucking killer, though, man. I'll take that all day.
Hell yeah.
Whether you keep it, trade it, or sell it.
Oh, no, that's not going anywhere, man. Very rarely do I get rid of PC stuff.
You know, I sell so much.
I know. I know you were just stating just like in general. Like, I get it. Insert of captain in charge. I think these are ugly as fuck, but
It actually looks halfway decent with
then we got the rookies.
Dan
Braylon Trice. And then base. So again, like you get a total of 10 rookies, which isn't bad considering like so if you get a case hit, it's in the pack or a pack with the hollow. So next green. Oh, look at that. Another Latu. Wow. Here's Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
Rainbow building.
Right?
There's probably less than 60 in optic.
Maybe, if we're lucky.
Yeah, I kind of, after that came out, I'm like, I might be low.
There's a Jordan Love base. There's Lamar Jackson. Insert. Play action. Rookie Blake Corum.
Lad McConkey.
Lad McConkey ain't bad
Mm-mm.
from a rookie perspective. I am getting quite a few like normal base cards for everybody, so that's nice. Everybody may end up with a team set of optic of their selective team. That's the last green. I'm going to save that just because that's pretty much the best stuff out of this. Just my jersey. Yep. Just my jersey. We're going to move this to the back. Derwin James for the hollow. Nobody worth a shit on the rookies. And I'm just going to flip this up. Make sure it's facing the right direction.
Oh, there you
Marvin
go.
Harrison. Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Ain't bad.
Game gear.
Yep, game gear. Yeah, last week, Michael, I actually pulled a Bo Nix first year fresh jersey.
Nice.
So
More PC.
yep.
I think the kids would say you're on a heater.
Do what?
I think the kids would say you're on a heater.
I wouldn't go that far, Dave, but
Maybe for
Thanks.
PC wise.
all right. So here's the last one. So this is the last green. Let's go, JD5. Come on. Oh no, 2 minutes. Oh, there you go. I'm gonna send that to you just because, Michael.
Ew. Gross.
Darius Robinson. And then Dallas Turner and Nate Wiggins for the rookies.
I'm anxious to get him something in a Steelers uniform.
I think he's going to have an MVP type season in Pittsburgh.
I am hoping so, Michael. I don't. Everybody around me just thinks he's a nutcase. I'm like,
He is.
he's a nutcase. As are the people I like. I gravitate towards nutcases. Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm with 3 of them on this podcast.
Yep.
I mean,
Weirdos are interesting.
he, like I said, I wouldn't be bored around him. It's like I like a diverse bunch of wackadoos.
All right. So
Yeah,
we've got
Russell Wilson just comes off creepy.
He's a little odd too. Yes.
I'm not a Russell Wilson guy.
He
wasn't.
comes off very much Carlton.
Yes. I would have rather had, what's his name, the astronaut?
All right.
What the hell
Last hanger.
was the quarterback?
Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah.
No.
Bill Spaceman Lee.
Dog Cougar Mellencamp?
Jojo Shabadoo.
I can't think of his name. I can picture him.
I don't know who you're talking about.
You're-
I don't know.
this make-
He was a quarterback for the Steelers, and he was a
Josh
back.
Dobbs.
Huh?
Josh Dobbs.
Yeah. He's like a rocket scientist. He's a genius.
Yeah.
Obviously.
All right. So here we go.
I would have rather had him. At least he had an arm. And Rudolph's not
Joshua
horrible.
Dobbs.
So we got a silver rated rookie. It's nobody worth a damn, but rated rookie silver. Brandon Cooks.
1099.
There we go. There's a JD5 rookie recruits. And there's the purple. Yeah.
Devin Culp.
Delvin Culp. Boo. And then Devontae Walker is the rookie. But
You got nice Bo Nix.
Couple. Or yeah, the one last week, this week.
so Bo Nix, Green Hyper. We got the Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
And then we got another JD5 insert. So there you have it. No case hits. Not that I was expecting any of those. Wishful thinking, but not that was going to happen. I think I've pulled almost no. Well, between all Donruss products, I think I've pulled every JD5 insert.
I don't need to be big.
That's what she said.
That's why.
Well, there's a chance of Game Gear that you need to be big.
So I just randomly grabbed this off the shelf out in the living room.
There might be Game Gear.
2021 Tops Fire.
I like Cops Fire.
I know.
Make sure everything's out of there.
I mean, shit. It's like, I don't know. There used to be more packs. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
Are you sure?
Yeah. My boy's on the cover. Alonzo. I like cheap.
As do I.
See. Oh, I got Badu for the Tigers.
Erica Badu.
No. That would be a kill Badu.
That's Joey's team. Joey loves this Tigers team.
Yes, he does. Oh, this is cool. Yu Darvish for the San Diego. That's a cool looking card. Alex Kirilloff, rookie.
That was a guy I thought was going to be good, and it just never happened.
Nope. Josh Donaldson. I love my Pirates, but I do love the Tigers. So. Oh, hot dang. Junior.
Nice.
I like King Griffey Jr. Oh, this is cool.
Who do you not like? Just thought I'd ask.
Shit. Holy shit. Ron Acuna, 101.
Oh, fuck
No
yeah.
shit.
Oh,
There you
baby.
go.
Holy piss.
Hell yeah.
Wow, that's I think that's the first 101 I ever pulled. Holy mackerel.
Put that in a sleeve and a top loader now.
That is a great name to hit.
Well, I need to find a sleeve and a top loader. Holy cow.
Dude, you
Woo!
open cards. You should always have sleeves and top loaders right near you. Come on, man. Because the time that you don't is the time that you do something like that.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do something stupid. Holy piss.
Nice pull, man.
That's awesome.
That won't be staying in my PC.
Uh-huh.
That will not be staying in my PC.
No, it's going to be used to buy other PC.
That's going to be used to buy a Lemieux.
Yes.
Congrats, man. That's awesome.
Hey, I was like, that's a fancy card when I saw it. Then I turned around. I was like, holy piss. 101.
Of course, that's not the actual word you wanted to use.
Wow. That's crazy, man. And I just randomly picked that. Holy crap.
Doesn't matter. And everybody says, like, why waste your money on retail? Because there are opportunities for shit like that to happen.
Kalenic.
Clinic. Jared Clinic.
I like Paul Goldschmidt. See, I'm more excited about the Paul. Wow. Holy crap.
That's killer, man.
Dude, we did it on the IRP. That's awesome.
I didn't pull anything huge, but I did get a PC hit. You pull a 101.
Rogers, Ricky Henderson.
All in all, a successful evening when it comes to opening shit.
Fuck yeah. Excuse my language.
No, you're not.
Trevor Bauer. I wonder if they'll ever let him back in the major leagues.
I
It
doubt
doesn't
it.
sound like it.
I think he's done, even though he shouldn't be.
He shouldn't be. He was acquitted of all that. Hey, JD Martinez. I like JD. There's a picture of Shelby went to the hockey game. I don't know if Haley was with her. I think it was her and her friend, her best friend. And there's a picture of Shelby, and behind her is Miggy and JD Martinez. They were behind them at the hockey game. That had to have been about 7 or 8 years ago, if not more. But it was a cool picture. Wow. That was a Best Buy blaster. I think I got these on Best Buy. Olson, Garrett Cole for Stofe. Loriano. Cool. I wonder if that's my hit.
No, shouldn't be.
Wow.
Say if it is, you did well.
Wow.
Right?
I'm like flabbergasted. It's baseball, too. I mean, I usually don't buy baseball. Anderson, Jacob DeGrom, Alec Boehm. Here's one for you, Wester Griffer. He's a good ball player. Pool host, another you, Darvish.
Albert Pujols.
Juan Castle. 2 more packs. Woo! 101.
Yeah, that'll get your blood pumping.
Yeah, I mean, Pearson, Max Muncy, Casey Mize rookie. Oh, hey, one for Roberto.
Oh,
There you go.
Yep, and one for the lowest rung.
Oh boy.
Last pack. Already had the mojo, so I'm wearing my Property of the Sudbury Blueberry Bulldog shirt. So that's Jeff Morris as opposed to the man. So one more.
We didn't think you were talking about Jeff Wilson.
huh.
Kurt Keller, Mike Trout.
Who?
He's a good ball player. Scherzer, Solak.
Mad Max. Love that guy.
Yeah, Scherzer. I like this design. This is a pretty cool design.
Well, I like that you can actually read the name.
Yeah.
You're scrambling to.
Wow.
Nicely done, man.
Dude, I'm like, my liver cleanse is going good. I'm feeling better. I lost 8 pounds in a week. Trying to eat better. And I had my one fizzy drink for the day. And I pulled a 101. Holy mackerel. And I put it in this. And this was the extra top loader I got today with one of the cards I got. It almost says, Aura, but I don't know. Close to Acuna. Maybe that's Acuna in Japanese. I don't know, but that's pretty cool. 101. Holy piss. Make me small, Dave. Make me small. I know
And
you.
you said, don't make you big.
Yep.
Don't make you big.
Yeah, I'm sure the card made him big.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I just love the get it right here to see that
Yeah.
it said the one.
Like, is that real?
Like, huh? Huh?
Wait a minute. Let me do this.
Am I reading this right?
I mean,
Yeah.
I got these goggles that I wear, and then I can't even see close anymore.
No, those are bottle caps.
I was just saying, you need like the Coke
Well,
bottle glasses.
So these are Oakleys. I only wear Oakleys because they see how they are. They just pop on your head and they hold to the side. So as soon as I got Oakleys, that's all I've ever worn. But
That's what these are.
Yeah, I got my first pair of Oakley custom sunglasses. Mayor's like, get a pair of sunglasses. So I did, and I got the wraparounds. I got a pair of white ones. I went different. I was like, I'm gonna do something different. Everybody gets black. I'm gonna get white. And the lenses are like this. So I went to get a new pair, and I saw a pair. I'm like, these are badass. And the guy goes, your prescription's too bad now. We warned you before, like 6 years ago when I got those. They're like, we can't put them in the wraps anymore because my prescriptions, them friggin' lenses are like that.
You're pretty close to getting straight bubbles.
Yeah. And then he got, they looked through I'm like, can I get like a regular pair of Oakley glasses and put sunglasses in them? They're like, yeah. So they got me a different pair. They're not like this. They have, they're more like Michael's that has the full around. And I got a pair of sunglasses made out of those, and they're good. I saw one when we were there when Mary scratched her eye. We were there 3 times. We went on a Friday, we went on a Monday, and a Friday. Her eye healed a scratch from 11 to 2 on her eyeball. It healed fully in a week. I think she got a turf pellet in her eye from when we played soccer with the kids. And that was the culprit. And she went to sleep with it in her eye, and she must have knocked it out during the night. But those things are vicious. They're all over my house. I suck them up in a vacuum every week. Then she'll go to bed, lay in bed after a game. I'm like, get the heck out of bed. You're going to have nothing but turf pellets in your bed. And they're not the most hygienic and thing. So, but I saw a pair of Maui, what are they called? Maui Jim?
Yeah, Maui Jims.
They are cool. I told Meredith, I said, when I get a pair of sunglasses in like 3 years, I'm going to get one of those.
Yep, Maui Jims are nice. I've owned a couple pair.
Yeah. I have to have prescription because I can't, as you can tell, I can't see worth a shit.
Right. Yeah, ever since I've gotten these glasses, I haven't worn my sunglasses. My sunglasses are the same exact model.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only they have metal arms on them. My sunglasses do, but they're the same look. What is it called?
Now, was that called for?
Holbrook. These are the Holbrook RX. I need to get me a skull and crossbones to mount right here.
Yeah. I better take this with me. I'm being summoned to get the dog. So I got to go upstairs. But
Yeah.
If you can yell about it, you can take care of it yourself.
yeah, she's upstairs all day, so she usually handles them during the day because I'm in the basement. And with C home now, she should be handling the dog right now, but she's probably out like a light. She's actually back into a rhythm of sleeping where she slept till like 10 today, but it's the summer.
Yeah.
I used to be up all night and sleep all day. I mean,
I would stay up all night and I would wake up at noon when my mom would come home for lunch.
Now she's calling me. Judas Priest. I'll be back.
Yeah, I used to stay up all night and keep watching Baseball Tonight over and over and over again. All the same highlights, everything. Life was good.
And see, I'd play Griffey Baseball 94 on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Over and over until like 2, 3 in the morning, and then wake up at 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Here's the thing now, whenever I say the title, the fact that we're past the year, there was a game on Sega Genesis called Super Baseball 2020. Absolutely love playing it. Played it so much. Me and my buddy Kelly did. And I got that game at KB Toy Store because it was marked down to like 10 or 15 bucks. So I got it and played it, and it was incredible because a lot of the players and everything on the game were robots. But it was a ton of fun to play. But yeah, now I think of it, Super Baseball 2020. It's 2025 now. That's depressing. Because that game was from the 90s. It was the early to mid 90s.
Oh, I'm sure. Nobody's they're thinking that far ahead, but they're all thinking like it's going to be Jetsons type shit still.
Right.
Flying cars, fucking everything's automated, automatic.
Fuck Edmonton.
Go Dallas.
I picked Florida to win before the series started. I thought they would, and I honestly thought it would be done in 5 games. I thought it would be a gentleman's sweep.
Just glad the fucking season's over because I'm sick and tired of hearing and seeing. Fuck whoever and Siri played Pink Pony. So I return the favor. That's what happens when you talk shit. Your team gets their ass fucking kicked.
Who was talking shit?
Paul C.
Oh.
Because Edmonton's his team because he loves Draisaitl and he loves McDavid.
Both great.
Phenomenal players.
McDavid's going to be Dan Marino.
But it's like, I didn't say shit all fucking series when Edmonton played Dallas. I didn't say shit when Edmonton forgot how to play in game 1 and Dallas came back and beat the shit out of them. And then Dallas forgot how to play hockey. So, like, the better team won. Like, I can't sit here and say, yeah, well, they got, like, the better team won that series. But what did I say? Talk too much shit, your team's going to lose. I was hoping for a fucking sweep.
I don't ever talk shit. I just figure if I do, things will go bad. Same reason why I don't gamble, even if it's to bet on my team. No, it's going to go bad. I have that touch.
But in Paul C's defense,
No,
he said it after every series, and it was just something. He wasn't like,
yeah, but
doesn't matter.
There's only one series that matters, and it's the one they just lost.
True.
Exactly.
So just don't talk.
Yeah, he really didn't talk. I don't know.
And they can be the Buffalo Bills of the 2020s. Whoop-de-fucking-do. What's the point in getting there when you can't win the big game?
They just need.
They don't.
They need a goalie.
Oh, but go back and watch one of his posts. All you need to win against any team is Stuart Skinner. Yeah, and they pulled his ass out of one of the games, and he got his ass handed to him this game.
Paul's talking shit. I take it back.
Well, he can talk shit all he wants. Like, Fuck Edmonton. They got their ass kicked the last 2 games, and it serves them right.
And they keep on. Again, you try to remedy the goaltending with. Who'd they get? Jack Campbell. He sucks. Chet Pickard or whatever the fuck that dude's name is. He sucks. Stuart Skinner, when they gave him the money, I'm like, that's not going to work. He sucks. I don't even know what you do at this point because anything you touch, anything you bring in there. I mean, is Mike Smith still available? He's like 45. Vincenzo, Rollison. Bring Rolly the goalie. I mean, they just can't.
I hear Rod Tugnut's available.
Tugger, bring him in. But it's
Le Flower.
No, that flower has wilted.
Yeah, he hung him up good.
I mean, even Grant here, when you people are like, yeah, the 80s and them winning. Yes, go back and look at his goals against. It's nothing to get
No.
up over. I mean, when you're winning 9-4 every night because you've got pretty much 6 all-star Hall of Fame level guys playing on offense, you better be winning 9-4. Now you've got 2 of the all-time greats in the last 10 years, 2 of the top 5. Because again, go Crosby, Ovi, and then throw whoever the fuck else you want.
Okay.
It's like you can't do anything.
Speaking of Ovi and my lack of likes, it just received card of the day from Tyler. So that's always a great thing.
You know what's sad? He gets lost in my feed that I barely see his stuff anymore.
Yep.
Oh, that's too bad.
A lot of people get lost.
He's always number 1 at the top of my screen for the stories.
It used to be for me, and now it's that. And who else gets?
Him and Jack are always at the top on mine.
Jack gets lost in my stuff too. Suns fan.
Yeah.
He gets lost in there, and there's somebody else.
That's too bad because those are like the 2 best ones to follow on the stories.
Yeah. They always have something funny. I can't think of who it is. Pittsburgh Dad. I follow him on there. He's a comedian. He's a comedian. It plays like a Yunzer from Pittsburgh, and
makes sense.
He gets lost in the feed, and there's 2 or 3 other car guys. I was like, holy shit, this is the first time I've seen a post from him in like ever. The Mary Lemieux guy always ends up in my feed every day. There's a I can't think of his name. Either Joe, Nick, maybe. There's so many people with the same name, I forget. All I know is I keep looking for a cup card. He needs one of the base cup cards to finish the Lemieux run. So I always look for it. And I thought I had 2, but I can't even find the one I'm supposed to have. So, because that cup run of the base is a tough one. And he's not in this year's cup, which is good. So I'm up to date.
Really, Paul? You're going to take your participation trophy? Yeah, well. That's what you need to make yourself feel better.
Damn.
What's the point in going?
Well, I mean, if you can't drink from Lord Stanley, you get Little John's Pimp Cup.
Yeah.
Like, talking about Dallas losing in the semifinals, like, okay. Like, you're not going to hurt my fucking feelings, man. the better team won in that series, and then they got their ass kicked. There's nothing more to say. And at least Dallas hasn't, allowed 4 goals by the same player in the Stanley Cup final. What?
And it just continues the Canadian drought and cups.
I was really hoping that ended this year.
I'm glad it didn't.
Out of all the teams, I wouldn't mind seeing Winnipeg or the Oilers. No Toronto, because I don't like the Toronto team as much as I did back when like Gilmore and them guys were there. And then who else is there? Calgary. No one likes Calgary except for a floathead.
Winnipeg wasted all their greatness in the regular season.
I still can't believe Hellebuck won the.
He won both.
He won both. I was like, "Holy crap!" I think I told Paul. I was like, Draisaitl had probably. I think Draisaitl, it was his, but Hellebuck just gave it up in the playoffs. He
did.
I don't know what happened to him. And McDavid and Draisaitl in the playoffs were. Draisaitl had his moments, but McDavid had a goal last game. But it was just, I don't know what. As soon as the playoffs happened, they I don't know. It's like Barry Bonds back in the day for us, for the Pirates. We needed that bad, so bad in the playoffs. It would just never come to fruition. But he was still a good ball player.
I'm just glad it's over.
No, I just have to wait till October. We got what? The draft will be here. NBA drafts first. It's what, next week? Yeah, 26th, 25th, 24th, something like that. Yeah, next week. And then after that we'll see what they draft for the NHL. New coach in Pittsburgh. We'll see how he does. We didn't get Rick Tocchet like I wanted. He went back home, his original home, which is Philadelphia. We got him in I think we traded Mark Recchi? Yeah, Recchi for him. Stevens, Tocchet, Lemieux. And I thought that was a great line till it was Francis Yager, Lemieux. That was the year they scored 300 points between the three of them.
That's so many points.
It was. I have a Dominators card, and it's Francis Yager and Lemieux, and it's something close to 400 points between the three of them when they were that. It was the Skyline, and they were just. Yager suggested it. They put Lonnie in the middle and put Yags and Lemieux at the wings, which Lemieux was usually the center. And then Francis was the center on the second line. Because it was Lemieux. First line was Lemieux, Tocchet, Stevens. Then it was Francis, Yager, and Joe Mullen? Or Joey might have been on the third line. I forget who he was with. What was the other Czechoslovakian guy, Dave? Naslund. Was it Naslund? No.
He was there, but he was gone quick.
Who was the other guy that was buddies with
Mariusz Tchaikovsky?
No.
Tchaikovsky?
Yeah, Tchaikovsky. That's who it was. Herschel Kostovsky.
Vladimir Suck Me Off. Research department's losing it.
No, I was looking at 101 Acuna's.
Well, it is Topps Fire. It is one of the.
Here's the deal: Justin Turner from 21 Topps Fire 101. It was graded PSA 10, sold for $200. I figured the Acuna is probably in that range, around 250.
Should be.
He's playing really well since he's come back.
Well, I'll hold on to that for a while.
Get rid of it.
And I'll well, I could always, like C just said, she goes, "Why don't you keep that, Dad?"
Because that's always the issue. We all talk good games about selling shit. Like
Yeah.
Michael has done it, Dave has done it, I've done it over the years, but as of late, too much work.
I'm waiting for Dave to open it up again.
Well, that'll be in preparation for the national next year. He'll have to sell stuff in order to fund his national.
2028 Detroit, baby. I'm gonna tell Ryan next when he comes on next. I'm gonna be like, "You and Neil vote for it, baby. It'll be in my backyard."
Much rather Detroit over Atlanta.
Oh, God.
Well, it used to be
I'll be
called
back.
Cobo Hall. Now it's called whatever, downtown Detroit. It's like 30 minutes from me. So I'm on like 13 mile. So you go, what, 13 miles south and you're there. And hopefully by then I should be in the new house and we can just have one giant freaking IRP family sleepover at my house.
That would be incredible.
Meredith was looking at these houses with basements, and we saw one. It's like fully furnished with a kitchen, and it has 2 bedrooms and an egress window. Because that's what I have here. I made when we moved in. We had an egress window put in. Like that was one of the first things we did, and then I redid the whole basement for 2 bedrooms for Shelby and Haley. And now one office is C's and the other office is mine. Meredith had it, and then I worked in this office to my left. But she gets cold, and while the basement is cold, so it's easier for me, who likes the cold, to go down there than her. So, and now I go to the office during the week, so it's easier for her. She works 100% remote, so she can have the office.
No, at some point I want to sell a bunch, but again, that means trying to get deals done or any of that. I'm like, I'm not in the boat. Again, unless somebody in the inner outer circle I hate it. I hate hearing it. You have to get the card to the right person. There's certain things, yes. But again, if I'm trying to move stuff and it's not like, okay, a Favre, a Rogers, a Bart Starr, whatever lowest rung is mowing through it that week, Lemieux, Steelers, Broncos. I mean, again, play match, whatever it is. It's like the right person is the person that's going to offer me the money I want and has that money for me right now. Does that sound like a non-collector? Maybe to some. But if I'm trying to move stuff, you offer me X, I'm wanting X. That's what we're going with. We're not going to sit there and most of the time, if there's like, again, been seen in the Christmas episode. It's been seen other times too. Just at National, just at other card shows. Here, what's this? I don't know. I'm handing it to you. How much? I'm handing it to you. It doesn't need to be said. It's like, no, that's. But you could get money. I don't care. The stuff that can be done that way. Again, if let's say a Bronco of, I don't even know who would be Jerry. Let's say it's a, I can't even think. I don't know if it's an optic black Jerry Judy rated rookie auto to 35. Well, I'll sell it to you for $350 or $385. I'm like, if you can get that much money, somebody's got an offer on the table for it, run into that, take it. That's not something in that realm. I don't know if there's ever been an instance of that, ever, that I can remember.
Yeah, walk up to me just because I have a Terrell Davis jersey on, thinking that I'm looking for an optic Jerry Judy black rookie auto.
Wow.
So, but again, if it's like a Terrell Davis 101,
different situation.
Yeah, I know where that's gonna go without even thinking.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do need a Jerry Judy autograph for the Broncos auto collection, but at the time, when that's what you want to pitch to me as I'm wearing a Terrell Davis jersey.
Yeah, it's like, and for me, if I'm sort of in your boat, but I'm trying to get, I won't say the lowest end, but I want an NFL license if I can for a minimal amount, because that's where we're going to be. And now he's with Cleveland. So it's not like, again, Rod Smith, who had a long career there. McCaffrey, longer career. Like Vance Johnson. I mean, it's like, yeah, you got these guys that are solid guys. Not Jerry Judy, not Deshaun Hamilton, not like all these sort of flash in the pan, few years and gone type fellas.
Latimer, was it Cody or Corey Latimer?
Cody Latimer. Yeah, I got my fair share of autos of him.
You do, and I do believe that Dan Steluka, I believe he had quite a few of him as well.
They were plentiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2010 was, I mean, outside of Tim Tebow, Denver's better drafted Demaryius Thomas and Eric Decker as far as the main offensive guys. And I got freaking Deckers and Thomases all the fucking time in care packages because they were a dime a dozen, but I'm not complaining because the DT was fucking phenomenal. RIP. Decker was a freaking stud in his own right.
Yep.
But like you said, I mean, Deshaun Hamilton, Cody Latimer, freaking
Ashley Lilly. I mean, there's the
I like Ashley Lilly. Number 85, Ashley Lilly.
I like that Hawaii.
Yeah.
But
that guy was a nut. Speaking of random Denver autos, Vinny, go on mute. No, actually, go away. Because if I say this, you're going to start looking. Not that it happens very often, but every once, I was kidding, Vinny. Because you can still hear me talk. So it's not like you couldn't go back in the archives and fucking pull this anyways. Every once in a while, when I do a TD search, I will get random non-Broncos, but on occasion I'll get some Broncos autographs or whatever in the search for whatever reason because somebody forgot to remove the player name or something. And I do have random autos and random jerseys of players that didn't last a long time on Denver, i.e. like Tony Dorsett. I have a card of Jerry Rice in a Broncos uniform. It is a jersey card, but it's probably not of said jersey. So it's probably one. I have a Javon Walker jersey, I think.
Yeah.
But out of the blue, I still freaking what's the old running back from freaking Kansas City? Jamal Charles. He actually has an autograph in Spectra in a Denver Broncos uniform.
I don't even remember him going to Denver.
One season.
Oh.
So that's the type of shit that's like fucking ultra random.
Yeah.
That, of course, it's like, okay, he played in Denver for a season. He didn't do much, but they actually made a card of it. Okay, I want one of those. Because the whole objective of Denver Broncos autograph collection is to have a certified auto of everybody who played for Denver in a Broncos uniform. Of course, that isn't always the case because I want to say, what's one of the older guys, and I'm drawing a blank. It's from Upper Deck Legends. It's one of the later years. It's a sticker. Haven Moses, I think. I think it's Haven Moses. He's not in a Denver Broncos uniform. In the card. It's listed as Denver, but he's not in a Broncos uniform. And there's like, I think that's the only one that I know of that doesn't have a certified auto in a Broncos uniform. So, but yeah, random shit. Because I mean, freaking every product, every year, most of your teams have, 5, 6, 7 rookie autographs that are like, don't amount to shit for the most part. Or they don't even really get a fighting chance. But I've never put forth the time and effort to pull like the entire history of the Denver Broncos and then do searches for certified autographs because it would take me forever and a day. If I was smart, I'd put the Broncos auto collection in alphabetical order.
That seems like a lot of work.
It would be, but like there's no rhyme or reason to it right now.
Yeah.
It's everybody that I have. So it's like, it's jersey, patch, autos, jersey autos, patch autos. Is the event that I have all of that of a certain player.
Yeah.
And so every player, like all their stuff for each player is like together. But then I have a bunch of singles, single autographs of single players. I don't have other stuff. And that's significant, not significant. That's sufficient because, again, the objective, certified auto, Denver Broncos, and a Broncos uniform. And since, again, they produce so many freaking rookie autographs year over year, there's shit guys that I eventually need, but I don't ever pay attention to it. Benny does really good at Christmas to get me some of the shit guys.
I'm good at getting shit.
And Dave has done the same over the years too, because like a few bucks, you end up paying more in shipping for some of those shit autos than you do for the autograph itself.
Not if you buy them on Comsy. There you can buy all the shit you want for $9.50 shipping. You just gotta wait a month.
Or two.
Or if you find something you want, like a probe scene or something like that, or even like an Evolution or Big Boyd. and you start looking like, okay, 2 cards I really want. I'm going to go after them. I know that. Let me look about the same time or within the same day. What else is going off of like Packers? Vinny and all his teams. Broncos. It's like, and again, I know you do the Rangers too, but that's why I got you the one guy last year. I don't even fucking know who
Yes,
it was.
but I don't.
That was the thing. That was the thing. It was like the guy had a bunch of shit like that, and I'm like, I'll throw like again for the refractor, I'll throw maybe like $6 on it. A blue, I'll put probably a 10 or 11. I mean, is it worth that? No, but something I can guarantee you don't have. And again, the grading itself costed more, I'm sure. So if I can get it for 10 and spend like $40 on like 7 or 8 cards, and be like, okay, there's a chunk of something out, and not the greatest of everything, but something that you're not ever gonna look at or search for, or even at the national, you wouldn't be like, oh, I got to pick these up. They're cool, but whatever. I'm looking for what I'm looking for.
Yeah, because as you know, I don't actively do anything Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they're my team. I love the Rangers. Baseball is like way down here. It's just it's no different than me always talking about the 99 Stars team. And like Vinny just literally scratching the whole fucking thing off the list. So, and that's normally why I don't talk about shit, is because for those exact reasons.
I am the reason.
Because I don't, like, now I know how Chris feels sometimes back in the day. I don't talk about cards for somebody to go out and buy me something, and it just always happened that way. You know, we don't sit there and talk about stuff in expectation or anticipation that somebody's going to buy it for you. That's not the reason why we talk about it. It's because we share the interest, and sometimes we want to talk about stuff that's not the norm, for instance. But yeah, the pristine 10 or whatever of the Bowman prospect or whatever. You're right. I would have never in a million years ever thought about that. But the fact that I have a BGS pristine 10 of a player that was at least drafted by my team, whether or not he ever plays for them or not, is irrelevant. It's just a very cool thing to have.
And that's one thing too. If you're like, you look at those and you're like, well, I don't want to get like every whatever runs there are. If I can get like up to a certain degree, maybe up to the orange or whatever, be like, okay, maybe I'll try that if they got it in 9.5. Just because again, that'd be a cool thing if I don't have to spend a shit ton of money. But again, even if you don't, it's like, who fucking cares? It's something you aren't going to ever actively search for without one of the two that are on the screen, one that's not on the screen currently. But here, the guys in the chat, I mean, it's the thing where it's like, okay, Stars stuff. Okay, if I find an Ottinger that's about to get burned by Steve DeBurr or whatever, their old coach, well, no, I'll take that and I'll give it to the other Steve. You don't want him. I'll give it to him. But
yeah, no DeBoer. I'd burn those fucking things on camera.
But yeah, it's
at least he's gone.
That's been the crazy thing too with coaches.
We all knew that was going to happen though. After that, bullshit.
But that coaching rope seems to be a lot more tight these days. Where Thibodeau, yes, he ran his starters into the ground for the Knicks. Go to the Eastern Conference Final. The dude in Memphis at the end of the year, again, they slid, but you go 10-game stretch and you're 2-8, and then you're gone. Malone in Denver. imagine Phil Jackson not winning the NBA title and then being fired. It's like,
Kicked. Yeah.
really? I mean, what's one team wins it all? One team, guys, not everyone.
Or a Jerry Sloan who, was there forever and a day.
Yeah. Or imagine
any of your big name coaches during that era, like they didn't have to win it all to still have a job the next year.
no.
It took a lot for them to be like, you're gone. Well,
And now the Knicks are pretty much fucked because, hey, can we talk to this person? Nope. Hey, can we nope. Hey, can we? Nope. Fuck you. You're stupid. So now they get to have all the same coaches that have been fired. That Bolden or whatever, the guy for the Bucks, and then the Suns, the Taylor Jenkins from Memphis. I mean, it's all the same people, the retreads and rehashes.
Mhm.
How do you think that's going to work out?
the joys of the merry-go-round of coaching in every sport when you really think about it.
Except Mike Tomlin.
Yeah, pretty much. He's pretty much the longest. Well, he's the longest acting.
Yeah, he's the longest tenured coach on the same team, and
They've only had
and he has been for a while.
Yeah, I was going to say like pretty significant.
Yeah,
Because it was Belichick until they let him go.
yeah,
But even then, I mean, Tomlin feels like he was there almost as long as Belichick was in New England.
well, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, Mike Tomlin. That's it.
Yeah, I was like, there's not a long list. And then you have a team like Denver who freaking couldn't figure their ass out from the hole in the ground for a lot of years.
Yep, 16 head coaches, but after 1969, Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Tomlin. So in 56 friggin' years, we've had 3 coaches. And despite me not caring for Cowher in some moments, and the same thing with Tomlin, they're excellent coaches. And Cowher or Chuck Noll was my guy. There was nobody like him, and I met him when I was probably 6 or 7. He was the neighbor of my aunt's boss, and he was there. Yeah, it's just like my Franco to aunt story. That Franco Harris dated my aunt's friend's sister, and she worked with Burnell Harris, who was his nephew. So I have a Pittsburgh Steeler to my aunt. I could connect like 5 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's 5 degrees of
There's something you should know about me. I'm your brother's uncle's 5th cousin's former roommate.
What does that make us? Absolutely
nothing.
But apparently there's going to be Spaceballs too, so
It'll be interesting to see how they make that work.
Yeah, should be
with both Candy and Joan Collins or Joan Rivers. Joan Collins. Wow.
Well, hopefully Kevin James can be the John Candy role.
Rick Moranis is coming back, and you could have Bill Pullman.
I'm surprised Pullman would actually come back and do it.
I don't know who you would get to do the.
Moranis would he would be coming literally out of retirement.
Yeah,
because he left Hollywood to take care of his kids.
Yeah, because his wife passed. Yeah. Is it Daphne Zuniga? Is that her name?
Daphne
Princess.
Zuniga. Yep.
So she's probably around.
Well, see, you could like CGI Dot technically,
Yeah.
and CGI her voice and everything else, and that would work.
Get her daughter to do it. Her daughter's an actress.
I mean, that's possible, but like, you can't. Like, I don't know how they would do it for John Candy. I just like that would.
I'm
Jack-
trying to think.
They'll have Shane Gillis play him. Shane's a big oaf.
Yeah,
I'll take
Okay.
your word for it. I don't know who that is.
Shane Gillis, Jack Black. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities.
Oh, no, Jack Black.
But it's still like it's.
Shane Gillis's show on Netflix, Tires, is so fucking funny. It is so good.
It's just him.
Oh, now I know who Shane Gillis is.
It's John Candy's mannerisms though in that movie that just made him.
Well, yeah, I mean,
special.
John Candy's one of the greats.
So it'll be like
But I'd say Kevin.
I'll see it. I'll watch it just because like the first one is fantastic. But it'll be interesting to see how they make it work.
Get Chris Farley's brother. He's still alive.
You know, Mel Brooks will figure something out though.
Yeah.
Because what is it like? What they say? 36 years, 38 year, 20, whatever it was in the early trailer or the hype trailer as they called it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if anybody ever played John Candy in like a biopic. Apparently not. It's not like you can duplicate John Candy. He was
Butterbean.
freaking Uncle Buck.
Oh, that's great.
Great outdoors.
Yeah.
Great outdoors, yep.
Him and Steve Martin and
Cool runnings.
Cool
Yeah,
Runnings.
that was great.
The Jamaican bobsledding theme. Love that movie.
But again, like for Dot, Joan Rivers, like you can CGI that shit all day long. Because you don't have to have a physical quote unquote being.
No.
Well, they're still putting Carrie Fisher in Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they can do it.
Look what they did with Luke Skywalker CGI'd in
Mark Hamill.
I know who to do it. CGI Jackie Gleason.
Okay.
What?
Dave's going to stretch, but
idea. Brilliant.
CGI Peter Boyle.
Yeah.
We'll CGI over Lake Superior preaching to the masses. Floating, walking on water.
I know.
well,
He wants to go to bed.
are you going to run through these five real quick, Dave? Like I have nothing, by the way. I didn't even pay attention to
Be
that
right
even
back.
being part of this.
Top 5 sports phrases.
See, for me, it's like the idioms, and again, when you hear it, a lot of it'll be of a South Side Chicago baseball announcer because that's
Yeah.
Harry Carey.
South Side. Wrong side, but close.
Yeah.
I'm
Hawk
just-
Harrelson.
So again, let's go right through the 5 without gibberish, but I can hear. I can hear 4. Because again, he'd vary him up.
You stop.
But sacks are packed. Sacks are packed with socks. Come on. You said you watched WGN. I've heard you in episodes.
Yeah, but it was always the Cubs. Sorry, Dave. There was no White Sox in that house. It was all the Cubs.
Put them on the board. Yes.
Because this, and again, Dave Martinez was like a guy I enjoyed watching because that would be another like Luis Ariz, a very poor man's Luis Ariz. He'd bat 260, 0 pop, maybe 5 stolen bases. Didn't really do much. He'd always get a little duck spin. Just something that just clears the second baseman. And there's 2 more that are of that ilk: a Texas leaguer and a dying quail. Those are little pop flies that are right over a short. Again, I'm making sure everybody knows. Maybe some people out there that happen to stumble across this, and as they're dying, they're watching this to put them out of their misery, just in case. And one where, again, if you don't watch baseball, you're like, what? Or softball, because we went down to that UMD game, and they actually had, for when it was ducks on the pond, they had duck calls. So the UMD bench had duck calls. And like, that's pretty ingenious. I am all for that. So those would be, and again, it's all baseball. I'm sure I could think of more, but those are like 4 of the 5 right away. Ken Harrelson. Because again, it's just a very prominent personality. So and again, unlike you, Steve, I didn't segregate, I have to watch Harry Carey and Steve Stone. I'm like, no, I'll watch Harrelson. I don't even know who he had on there. Maybe Stone was on there and it's somebody else with Harry. You had to have somebody with Harry because Harry was usually drunk by the 4th.
As was Hawk.
Well, yeah, but I mean, Hawk, depending on if Joe West was behind the plate, he'd get a little more hands on.
Hawk got drunk and wanted to fight.
And it wasn't segregation, Dave. It's what my grandmother wanted to watch, and it was her house. So,
just like when wrestling came on at my grandpa's house, you had no choice.
Just reading that at the time, I mean, this topic, I mean, Bob Uecker from Major League, just a bit outside is that immediately is what popped in my head was just a bit outside because I say that all the time.
Yep,
just for
that's
random
number
shit.
4.
I say
ball
that,
4
and
ball
then
8.
You could have 60 from Chris Berman.
Yep,
rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Yep. He was
gone.
Yeah, I couldn't. I felt bad not put. I actually only have 5, and I was like, "Holy crap! I have nothing from Chris Berman on here." And I was like, I was gonna do one. I try to do one representative from each sport, and I chose somebody else from ESPN, which is my number 5, cold, like the other side of the pillow.
Yeah, cool as the other side of the pillow. I was about to say that, Stuart Scott.
That's Stuart Scott. And to me, I love Stuart Scott because he was Mookie. And it was just like, he just, his energy about, and then when it was
Pookie, Ray and the kids.
Yeah, who was it?
Bill
Oberman
Peters?
And
Tim Kirkjian?
no, it's Oberman and
Dan Patrick? Craig, whatever.
Craig Kilborn.
Oh,
I was trying to think of, it's Craig Kilborn when he was on the Late Show, But Oberman and Kilborn, before Oberman went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, those two together, they were like boom, 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 boom. And it was just magic. We grew up on ESPN because that's how we got we didn't have the internet. We lived for 11 o'clock Sports Center to come on to see all the highlights of all the sports we couldn't see on TV. Because we had WGN and I had the Cubs and then I had the Mets because I got the Mets station.
WOR.
Atlanta and Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Cubs and Braves is what I saw here.
Yeah. So we had Cubs, Braves, occasionally White Sox. We had that channel would come in and then go out. Then we had the New Jersey station where we got because I would get Ranger games, I'd get Blackhawk games. Yeah, Rangers, Blackhawks, Devils. So we never had the one thing about moving to Michigan, we got CB, the Canadian CBN. And now I get every Saturday night. That's how I started watching more Oilers game was because of the Canadian Hockey Night in Canada. And like I said, I missed crazy Don Cherry. And I did not like Don Cherry, but I miss him because he was like a staple of craziness. He's just
moving
like
on.
Cherry. Huh?
Moving on.
Yes. Number 4.
That was the longest number 5 I've ever fucking heard ever.
Well, guess what?
Keep it. Watch it.
You brought 0 to the table, Steve.
I have the power,
Thank you,
though.
Michael. Number 4, Dave. Or you already
Dave-
done?
Dave rolled through all 5 of his.
Oh, well, I'll just roll through all 5 of mine. Just a bit out. Number 4 is just a bit outside. Exactly what like you say, I use it in daily life. Anything, number 3, anything Myron Cope for the Steelers. Yoy and double yoy. Thank you, Jeff. So yoy and double yoy, them bungles, anything that he said was just, he was our Steelers voice. Him and I wish Bob was around. I can't think of his name. I could picture him in my head, but he was the other announcer. It was Myron, Bill Hillgrove, and he was also the voice for Pitt football. Bill Hillgrove and Ton Chilkin. Those were the 3. Those were the 3 that did the radio broadcast for the Steelers. And those 3, they just, my whole childhood up until I left Pittsburgh, that was the voice of the Steelers. So anyhow, that number 2. Oh, are you doing one, Michael, or not?
Yeah, I'm just making them up as I go.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Michael Buffer. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I mean, it's trademarked and makes millions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2, Lanny Fateri, who was the voice of the Pirates when I grew up. At the end of the game, he'd go, and there was no doubt about it, even though there was a lot of doubt back in the day. But when we had Bonds, Bonilla, Van Slyke, Jay Bell, Raphael Belliard, I think did we have him for a while? No. Jose Lind.
Yeah, Jose.
We were loaded, and we were Doug Drabeck, and there was no doubt about it for most of those years, from the mid 80s to the 90s, and then it just so
we had Tim Wakefield too.
Yeah, he came. You could.
Phenomenal.
I remember my brother coming home one time, and I'm like, "What do you have?" And he had a stack of Tim Wakefields like this. I said, "How did you get that?" He goes, "Never you worry." My brother, and my baby brother, and he goes, we're gonna make some money off of these, and they were the rated rookies, and they were going for $30 a pop.
Yeah.
Because he was electric that rookie year when he came in.
Yeah, he was. Indeed, he was.
Rest in peace. He was a good man too, decent dude.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
I'm waiting for Michael.
Oh, I don't have any more.
Okay. And
I mean, I
lastly,
do, but go ahead.
and lastly would be the voice of the Penguins, Mike Lang. Elvis has left the building. Buy Sam a drink and his dog 1 2. Michael motorcycle. The list goes on and on. There was, when they bumped him over to radio, it was just not the same to listen to a Penguins game. I would get it on WDVE, which is the rock station, and then they moved it to the X, which is 105.9, the X, which is all in grunge rock. But that's where they would put the Penguin games, and I would listen to Mike Lang on the internet. I'd be working and I'd turn it on, just listen through the computer. And his voice, he passed away, 2-3 years ago? Somewhere in there. But I got an Allen and Ginter card of his. And it's like a shiny one. It's one of the parallels. But I just wanted to have one card of him at least in my collection because that was the voice. Greg Brown is the guy for the Pirates now. He's been around. Lanny left, and then Greg Brown came in, and he's been there ever since. So it's the voices of my childhood. That and ESPN. That was it. All our local announcers and the myriad of ESPN guys that basically told us stories every night from 11 to 12. And like you said, you'd watch Baseball Tonight, and then some kind of late movie would come on, and I'd watch a late movie from like 1 to 3 or 2 to 4, and then I'd go to sleep. And my grandpap would, like clockwork, he'd wake up 6 o'clock, 65 years old. He would come down the steps. He goes, "You still up?" I said, "Yep, but I'm going to bed." He goes, "I'll see you at noon." And he knew, because I in the summers I was up all night and I slept till 12 o'clock and woke up and went outside and played ball or shot hockey pucks at a net for 4 hours. We didn't stay inside during the day.
The joys of being a kid.
Yeah. Or I'd go read a book outside on the steps for 2 hours.
Come on now. You're reading a book.
Nerd. You nerd.
Yeah. Right. I'm a nerd. I'm proud of it. We would get assigned books in the summer. You never got that?
Hell no.
Yeah. Like my Latin teacher would, Iliad, the Odyssey. I read those in the summer, and then we'd have to come back and have a report ready. Yeah.
Fuck that.
That shit.
Bullshit.
There was recommended summer reading lists and shit.
If I didn't love Magister Soyson, she was one of the greatest teachers I ever had. Her and Cowboy Carl Rossi. Those are the two best teachers that I ever had in high school. And economics, history, and Latin. And she taught me English too. And
I taught you English?
Yeah, she taught me. I didn't do too well though. But those were the two teachers that actually sparked me to start getting like really good grades in high school. Because up until 8th grade, I really didn't care. I never studied. I just went in there and did it and got decent grades. And then I actually started to study in high school a little bit. And I got really good grades. Then I thought I could pull that off in college, and I was wrong. I had to study because biochemistry isn't a very easy subject, and neither is genetics and all the other crap that I studied, neurophysiology and all that crap, neuroscience and genetics and all the other crap I took. And it's worked out so well in my career.
Just a bunch of memorization. Memorization and freaking you fucking purge it from your head anyways.
Yeah. Which it's been gone. Now I just remember Kanbans and all that crap. Yeah. Signed books.
Yep, that was never a thing. Summer reading lists, but it was all optional.
No, teachers, we were probably smarter than that. They're like, they're not gonna fucking read in summer. What the fuck?
I couldn't get them to read during the school year.
Yeah.
I read books only because I had to.
Yeah. I enjoyed the Iliad and the Odyssey. And the Aeneid. That was the three. The Iliad, the Odyssey, and the Aeneid. Those were the three books. For summer of freshman, summer of sophomore, and into junior for my senior year. And of course, once I was a senior, I sort of checked out. It's sort of like when I was in my college days, my last final, I had pneumonia, and I roll in, and my professor looks at me. He's like, "You look really bad." I'm like, "Here's the deal. So I got to get on this test to pass." He's like, "You need a 79." I got an 81. And I was like, I got a B, and I was happy. Because I was like, I was seeing pink pony clubs, elephants, pterodactyls, Sasquatch through a potato phone. I was messed up. Because I remember my grandma and my mom came down there because I had to go to the hospital. I was so jacked up. She's like, "You have finals." I was like, "I'll make it." And I just remember laying in bed like, I'm not going to make it. This is rough. But at that point, I was cooked. So I was just like, I want to be done. I went in there, graduated, didn't walk because I graduated in December. And I was like, that's that.
Speaking of which, I'm going to bed.
Place your bid.
Oh, I will. 2 hours, 17 minutes left. I'm about ready to go ahead and throw that one down. And
good luck. You'll have to.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
You'll have to let me know in the morning.
As of now, there's still only one watcher, and that's myself. So hopefully I'll win it. But
you never know.
Yep. I will talk to you gentlemen later.
Have a good one, sir.
You
Have
too.
a good night, Michael.
Later.
Wrap us up, Dave. Because
One
I'm ready
more
for bed myself.
Butchie, John Butchergrass. You hit the pole or hit the post in NHL. What do you say? Yo, ding dong, yo. Hit the goal post. So yeah, that's one. Anytime I'm watching hockey, no matter what it is, and I hear that ding, that's Pavlov right away. I'm the same. I start saying the same thing. People look. I don't normally look and be like, "What?" Don't worry about it. Keep playing your stupid Barbie dream house or whatever the fuck. Dumb shit on your phone. So
let's get ready to suck it. Oh, sorry.
Jock jams. We have that.
That's not sports. That's sports entertainment.
Same difference. There's just a myriad of sayings that could come from that. Brother.
That'll be one top 5 sometime. Which will be interesting.
Top 5
wrestling phrases or whatever.
Statements, phrases, yeah.
So I'll give you the hint for next week, or I think this is the one Vincenzo texted me. Again, that's how good my memory is. It's going to be our top 5 ESPN anchors or personalities.
That's going to be a good one. That's going to be hard.
There will be one where I put two together, and it's not going to be the two you think. So I will leave it at that.
Yeah, but can I tell you, like, when I watched ESPN, I didn't pay attention to anybody saying shit. I literally watched the screen, the scores, the high. Like, I listened to none of that. Like,
And you didn't get the full experience, Steve.
No, I blocked this shit out. Like,
that sounds like a personal problem.
It ain't no fucking personal problem. I wasn't there to listen to a bunch of people fucking rattle fucking catchphrases and everything else.
Oh, I loved it.
I wanted to sit there and see who did what, when, how, and why.
But the catchphrases were the it was like the icing on the proverbial cake.
I blocked that shit out in any fucking broadcast football. Like I just, it's like it was background noise. Just like I'm just throwing it out there. Like I had no, it didn't matter who was there saying what. I didn't care.
Well, we know your list will be
just saying. Oh, I'll do a little research because there are people that I will come to mind as I see names and shit. But for the most part, it's like that didn't matter to me. My love for sports is not the same as most people's.
And you know what? You're individualistic, and that's why we love you, Steve.
You're your unapologetic, authentic self.
I mean, I couldn't tell you who the freaking color commentator was for the Rangers. Like, I couldn't even tell you who the fuck it was.
Tom Grieve.
Great.
Ben Grieve's old man.
That's fantastic. I'm glad you know.
Somebody's gotta.
But you know, the other thing is, I'm shitty with names. So, like, unless it's something that literally, like, has left an impression, couldn't tell you. Just saying. Harry Carey, all those years, left an impression.
Joe Buck.
Yeah, he left an impression.
Yeah, he's one that I definitely tune out. Yeah. Him and Aikman, I can't stand to listen to. Again, and that's a lot of it's those type of combinations in which I am glad that for the most part I block the shit out.
Yeah.
It is literally background noise. I don't have to hear them talking about it. I can see what's fucking going on the TV.
I'd rather listen to Tony Romo, and I can't stand him. Good quarterback, but...
And that's where I wish, like, radio would match up with TV. That's the only time I like watching the Vikings is when I can listen to Paul Allen on KFAN. Because he gets into the game like we would be as kids, like get into the game watching it.
But that you kind of have to.
Well, yeah, you've got to paint the picture.
Because you're not being able to see anything, so you have to.
That's why I like radio, and I've said this a million times.
Yeah,
I love listening to radio broadcasts because you have to pay attention to the broadcast if you're not watching the game along with the radio broadcast. Because otherwise, you're just like, oh, I missed like 3 batters. Well, somebody's on second and it's 1-0. Well, what the hell happened? They're not going to go back and like do a replay after like the half inning,
right?
You're just moving on, and then you're talking about your sponsor, and then maybe top of the 7th is the scoreboard update. So I mean, you got a real and that's why I don't think it's a dying thing, but it's tougher for like this generation, like youths, to fucking pay attention because you have to pay attention.
Yep.
Well, and of course, they're biased to your teams that you're listening, of course, based on locality. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's not what I'm going. But you're right. Baseball, basketball, football, anything on the radio, you have to listen because you're not able to see. So you have to kind of picture it, what's going on. So you need the actual words. To watch it on TV, you don't need color commentary 95% of the time because you can see what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason why literally I blocked the bulk of it out, because it's like I can see what's going on. I have eyes. I know the game. I don't need to be told in specifics. Like I see it. The only people that I could stand listening to during like prime NFL was Summerall and Madden.
Yep.
And see, I'm the opposite. I could not even.
But that's just because they were like the mainstay and they were fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you could not escape them.
Yes, I know this, but it's just Summerall.
I didn't say I liked them. I didn't say I liked them.
Who was
First and 10 for the 49ers at their own 21. Joe Montana drops back the pass incomplete to John Taylor.
Yeah,
Well, you see, well, here, what happened? Here's your bow. Boom, boom. It's like,
who was with Gifford?
Al Michaels.
Al Michaels and Gifford. They were good.
When they started adding like Dennis Miller and all them, wow. Like,
I like Dennis Miller.
But well, I liked his humor because it's something where you had to actually think.
Yeah.
And everybody, it was sort of like, some of the time it was like very, very misplaced.
Yeah.
Just like completely like.
Well, consider the source though too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The two guys that I'll listen to ad nauseum, no matter what they're doing, they could be doing a cribbage tournament. Kevin Harlan, Ian Eagle. Those two I can listen to do anything, and they are the voices. Kevin Harlan, I've been listening to him for 35 years. When he was with the Timberwolves with their radio. And that's one guy that he would be very excited for the Timberwolves, but if somebody does something for the away team, Dominique Wilkins, windmill dunk, he would let you know that he was excited about that, even if it was not for his team. Paul Allen will like come inside his pants 10 times if the Vikings do something great. And if they give up the Brett Favre throw New Orleans across his body interception or whatever, you know he's pissed because it's just like, and then up here because he's just like flaming hot, just boiling mad. But Harlan's always been a guy that's been pretty even for both. I mean, again, you're going to show a little bias to your home team. That's who's paying. Ian Eagle for the Nets, same thing. He's out there. He's a little more if they have him a great play, but he's not going to just say Pippen to Jordan slam dunk pulls up 20. I mean, no, you get paid to
create an experience, create an atmosphere, like, and I get it.
And draw people into your broadcast or whatever you're doing. So,
and for me, I remember the stuff from Pittsburgh better than I do the stuff from Detroit. Like, I couldn't tell you the Pistons announcers.
Well, you grew up, you were there longer in freaking that area than you have been in.
Then, like,
you grew up in Detroit.
I like the Lions football announcers, the radio guys. I really like them, and I think they're the same guys do like the Michigan Wolverines games. I really like those guys. They're good. The Red Wings guys, I know them to hear them, and they're excellent. And Wichita's one of them. Mickey Redmond, who's fantastic. He was a hockey player, so that old school eyes to everything, which is great. And then we had two guys that I really liked for the Tigers, and then they beat the shit out of each other. Jeff knows. I can't think of the two guys, but they were the announcers. They got in a fist fight, and they got rid of both of them. So Then they got the announcer from the White Sox. I think he has cerebral palsy, and I think they dismissed him from the White Sox. Like they let him go. The Tiger, and he's a heck of an analyst, and I just know the Tigers guys, the voices, and they're great. But to name them, I'm not very good about it. So, but like Meredith knows it, and
There you
then I just wait to hear the soccer guys. Yeah, Rod Allen and Mario Impala.
That's in
Peba
Peba and Peba.
And Peba, whatever. Mario and Rod, and they just beat the
Mario
shit
got
out of
people.
each other because they got an altercation about something, and I just remember they were gone, and then people stepped in, and then during the summer they announced who was going to take their place, and then last summer we lost. Remember, we talked about it on here. The local stations were going out of business because they were bankrupt. All the broadcasting companies. Yeah.
Because of Diamond Sports.
Yeah. And ours was Bali. Now it's God knows what it is. And same thing in Pittsburgh. Like,
well, Diamond Sports owned Bally, didn't it? Wasn't that the agreement?
And then Xfinity wouldn't carry it, and because they wouldn't do a deal with them, and we had no baseball for the longest time, and then when we got it back, it was like, thank God, because all I was watching I watched so much soccer, and now MLS is on Apple TV, so ESPN though has USL Champion, USL 1 and 2, Paramount has stuff, and I get another one. I forget what it is.
Oh, they've got it everywhere.
Peacock has it. I get almost all the leagues. I think the only thing I don't get is CBS, which, well, no, it would be on Paramount because CBS is. So now I get Serie A, which is, if I can get Serie A, which is Italian, I get Premier and Champions League, which is French and English, and then La Liga, which is Spain. I got all the major ones, and then you get Fox will play, like last week they played LA Galaxy, and then FS1 and FS2 right now are playing the Gold Cup stuff. So I was watching Jamaica and somebody last night, and I was up till I fell asleep, and then I woke up, and then I watched soccer for 3.5 hours. I watched like 3 matches last night.
And on that note,
bye, everybody.
Thanks for watching. Short and long.
All right,
Next week, RBI crew. Again, I'll let it out. Cat out of the bag, they'll be on. At least Ryan will. Hopefully Neil as well.
Yeah, the other owner of RBI Crew 7. There's that Ryan guy. For those who say they went to his store, there's this guy named Neil, and there's a guy named Tyson. These guys have been around. So Ryan, love you, man, but he's not the only guy that's in. There's RBI and there's Crew 7, and then there's Magdorn, and I'm the newcomer to this, and I know this shit.
Magdorn just works there.
I know he does, but.
However, they are still technically a 3-headed monster.
Yeah, they are a 3-headed monster.
Ryan and Neil had help.
Yeah,
and that's the part and that's the thing that though. And this is like, I'm not sharing anything that's not technically public knowledge. It's not talked about a whole lot, but without said help, they would not have gotten where they are. Granted, they busted their ass day in and day out to get where they are. Hard work does pay off, but they had a dream.
And they made it come true, and they're a kick-ass crew.
They were able to secure additional financial assistance to make that dream come true. And all they done is freaking just continue to take it to the fucking moon.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It's the feel good story, you know.
So,
But I just thought I'd give a little lesson to some of the people that are out there that drop names.
well, it's no different. When I went to freaking the TriStar show in Houston, you know, everybody always back in the early YouTube days, even though it was RBI Crew 7, it had been RBI Crew 7 forever and a day for the YouTube channel. For those of us who knew, it was both of them.
Yeah.
But almost everybody gave shit to Ryan. People forgot that Neil was kind of like the silent guy. He was just in the background more than anything. He was the smarts. Yeah, Neil's the one who actually did the website for when I was selling boxes. That was all Neil who did that. But, you know, everybody hooked up Ryan. Everybody forgot about Neil. But I made sure in person, meeting them for the first time, that Neil got hooked the fuck up. And if you go back and watch one of the older shows with Ryan and Neil, what did he do? He went and freaking pulled a card. He still has it. And that was a big card then. It's bigger now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that I pulled it. So, like, it's more, it's of more significance. It's not something I went and purchased. Well, I purchased the box in order to pull said card, but I mean, you get what I mean. But anyways.
No, so it's been a while since we had them on. It'll be good to catch up. And because again,
well, they had big news too.
And talk about the road to the national.
Big news. Huge news, actually.
The rehash of what to wear at the national. Cash is.
Make sure you bring enough money for your vintage cards.
If you have a big nose, make sure you've got a cool little hat that covers it up.
Both of you. Hush.
So, until next week, thank you to Michael. He's Vincenzo. That's Steve. I'm Dave. This has been the RFP. Remember, collecting low grade but very good eye appeal vintage is wonderful. It's the hobby shoutouts you make for the smaller channels in your videos. That's what really matters. Right, kids? Good night, everyone.
You're such a dick.
Yep.
Good night, everybody.
At least you can smell that.